So many Spider-Man stories revolve around the balance between the personal life and the hero life. Many of these stories often have our protagonists ponder the idea of relaxing a bit, spending more time with loved ones, or even focusing on their own wants, only to face difficulties and struggles. The tentpole cast of Across the Spiderverse still face major hurdles in their journeys, not because they are running away from Spider-Man, but towards him. Miles, Gwen, the Spot, and Miguel all feel like if they could just be more like Spider-Man, be around Spider-Man more, they could be better people, be better versions of themselves. Gwen's been dealt a rough set of cards. She was already by herself before the events of the first movie, but she ends up meeting Miles and finding someone she can really connect with for the first time in a while. Of course, she had to leave and things set back to the usual lonely status quo. To make matters worse, her dad figures out that she's Spider-Woman and thinks she murdered her old friend. Gwen's ticket out of this whack situation is Spider-Man 2099 and the Spider Society, but that ticket comes with a hefty price, one that costs a friendship. The one thing she wanted to run to, escape to, is now the new thing controlling her, dictating her alliances. Part of me wonders if Gwen's weird behavior when reuniting with Miles was a way of pushing him away from the harsh reality that lied ahead of him. Miles' journey to become Spider-Man was an incredible experience for him, helped by the fact that he made so many new friends along the way. With the day saved, all of his new friends had to part ways. He was still able to grow and develop as a hero in their leave, but his accomplishments were less sweet with no one by his side. Maybe there's a world where his parents could see the real whole Miles and find pride in their son protecting the city. Unfortunately, they can't know the truth, and a rift between them starts to develop. This stress of having to balance a secret life makes it harder for Miles to see that his parents also want him to succeed in life. However, he only sees them as hindrances. It's only when he enters the Spider Society that he realizes that they were the only people in his corner. The Spot lost everything when the Collider exploded in the first film. Miles was forged into a hero, while the Spot became an outcast. With nothing but his strange new powers, he feels as though the only role he's fit to play as is Miles' new nemesis. However, it's pretty hard to be a rival to someone who doesn't even acknowledge you. This lack of acknowledgement drives him to mutilate his own body with dark matter, transforming himself into a monster, driven by envy and vindication. Lastly, we have Miguel, who seems to be our clearest example of this theme. He finds himself in a dimension where his alternate self dies, and decides to fill his role. For a while he was happy, and even had a family, until it was all eroded away. Believing that the demise of his new home was due to his own selfish desires, he dedicates himself to protecting the multiverse from future disasters. He does this by genetically enhancing his own body and reigning over the concept of Spider-Man with iron talons. Spider-Man is a character comprised of two halves, the human and the hero. The human half represents connections, love, relationships, and even selfish desires. The hero side represents responsibility and a duty to serve others. In most Spider-Man stories, the sacrifice of the human side might be necessitated to become a more dedicated hero, but it always stays with the hero. The human side always informs the hero side and motivates them to keep on pushing through the hard times. Across the Spiderverse is entirely concerned with the rejection of the human side. While the first movie tells us that anyone can wear a mask, the second movie asks, who are you under the mask? Our protagonists, Miles and Gwen, struggle to maintain crumbling relationships, while the allure of being Spider-Man 100% of the time intensifies. On the other side, we have our antagonists, the Spot and Spider-Man 2099, who completely reject their humanity in favor of more power and control. While anyone can wear the mask, there still needs to be someone under the mask. You still need to have a soul.